Hello and welcome to another session in our teaching series Hidden Facts in Biology. So now we are going to be looking at the transport system. In this video, we'll be looking at the introduction to the transport system. We'll look at some basic things we have to know, and subsequently we'll look at other things. Living cells, first of all, I want you to know that they are always surrounded by a watery environment, and this watery environment is known as the tissue fluid, and materials flow between the cell and its environment mainly by two processes, and these are the processes of diffusion and osmosis. So what is diffusion? It's just defined as the process by which molecules of substances move from a region that has a higher concentration to a region that has lower concentration. So diffusion can occur through various medium, and these include the medium of gases, the medium of liquid, and the medium of solids. But however, the degree and the rate of diffusion of molecules through these various medium, that is the medium of gases, liquid, and solid, varies. Molecules in gaseous states actually diffuse faster than those in liquid, while those in liquid state diffuse faster than those in solid state. Now let's look at the concept of osmosis and what it is. Osmosis, on the other hand, is the movement of water molecules from a dilute solution into a concentrated solution through a semi-permeable membrane. It can also be defined as the movement of water molecules from a low osmotic concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. So now let's look at the need for transportation. Why is transportation important? Why does living organism have transport system, especially the large organism? Firstly, I want you to understand that in the small organism or the unicellular organism, such as the amoeba or the paramecium, substances can move to all parts of the body by the simple process of diffusion, and that's why we look at diffusion initially. So in this small organism, substance can be transported throughout their body by diffusion, and this is because of the following reason. First of all, their small body size. So the small size of their body enables the diffusion of substances through the body. Also, the distance moved by the materials is actually short, and due to this short distance, substance can move easily through the body. And lastly, the surface area to volume ratio is large. So you see in unicellular organisms such as amoeba or paramecium that the surface area to volume ratio is large, and this makes it possible for substance to move through their body by the simple process of diffusion. Now, coming to the large organisms. In large organisms such as human being, the surface area to volume ratio is not large. It is actually small, and therefore materials have to move through long distances, and such there is need for transport system. So now we see the reason why we need a transport system. When we talk about transport, what do we mean? When we talk about transport, we are talking about movement of substances. The transport system is actually responsible for the movement of food and oxygen to all tissues. It is also responsible for the expulsion of waste products of metabolism and for the movement of hormones from ductless glands to target organs. In the transport system, materials will need to be dissolved in liquid before they are carried. That is, materials are usually dissolved into the liquid form before they are carried to their destination. So this is a brief introduction on the transport system. Subsequently, we'll be looking at other subtopics. So having come to the end of this introduction, we'll just look at some few examples to actually enhance our understanding of what we have discussed so far. So the first question says that in unicellular organisms, essential nutrients can be transported directly to all parts of their body by the process of diffusion only, because unicellular organisms have A. A large surface area to volume ratio, B. A large volume to surface area ratio, C. Permeable cell membrane, D. Outer membrane made of cellulose, E. Their body always immersed in the nutrient material. The answer to this question is A. This is because unicellular organisms have a large surface area to volume ratio, and hence they have the ability to transport nutrients and other substances directly throughout their body by simple diffusion. Now to our next example, it says, which of the following explains the need for transport system in large mammals? A. The area to volume ratio in large mammals is high. B. The area to volume ratio diminishes with large size. C. Diffusion as an adequate means of transport is lacking. D. Large animals have internal fluid which contains different type of cells. E. Large animals have four-chambered hearts. The answer to this is B, and this is because large mammals have very small area to volume ratio, hence the need for transport system. So to our next question, it says, one major difference between osmosis and diffusion is that diffusion, A, does not need a semi-permeable membrane, B, does not take place in living tissues, C, takes place only in a liquid medium, D, takes place membrane, E, cannot be demonstrated experimentally. The answer to this is A, and this is because diffusion does not require a semi-permeable membrane before it can occur, but osmosis does. To our next question, it says, which of the following statements is incorrect about diffusion? A. It involves degradation of soluble particles in solvents. B. It occurs mainly in gaseous and liquid media. C. No membrane is needed to effect the movement of molecules. D. Molecules move from region of lower concentration to that of higher concentration. The answer to this is D, and this is because in diffusion, molecules move from a region of higher concentration to a region of lower concentration. Number 5, it says, which of the following organisms has the largest surface area to volume ratio? A. Man, B. Earthworm, C. Amoeba, D. Grasshopper. The answer is C, as amoeba is the smallest of all the organisms that were being mentioned in the option, and hence it has the largest surface area to volume ratio. Note that surface area to volume ratio decreases with increase in size of organism. So we have come to the end of our examples. Now we are going to be taking some exercises. This exercise was taken from our textbook, Hidden Facts in Biology, page 133. So these are the exercises. The answers to this exercise are in the back of the book. So try and get a copy of the book so that you will check if you got them correctly. Thank you for listening.